No, well, thank you so much. And I want to thank you and to give me this space to address you all in this magnificent GAIN summit, at least virtually. I would have loved to be with you, but at the end, I'm glad that I can at least convey this message to you virtually. And I want to thank the invitation from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for this amazing convening power that they are showing here. But also you have heard it from the panel before for the launching of the International Center for Research and Ethics on AI. This is an amazing joint collaboration between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and UNESCO. We heard from Amal Al-Falah, with whom we also have with the AI Movement Center also that is working for many other issues. But I feel that with this International Research Center, we are addressing one of the most important issues that the AI imposes today, which is how do we understand better how it works, but not only the technologies, how the technologies interact with our societies, how it interacts with our people, and how do we interact with our governments. And therefore, I feel what we're doing with SADAYA, the Saudi Authority for Data and Artificial Intelligence, which is actually one of the leading institutions all around the world with developing the rules, the thinking, the governance metrics to understand how do we shape this technology. Because let's be clear, we know how the exponential capacities of artificial intelligence have advanced, particularly in the launch of generative AI. The kind of functions, the kind of activities or processes that artificial intelligence can perform are just growing exponentially. And therefore, for this revolution that some call AI 4.0, we need capacities 4.0. Yes, in education, yes, in institutions, but more than anything in the government. But because it's the government who can deal with the tools, with the policy tools to ensure that it will deliver. And therefore, the center is going to be helping us a lot to develop the research, and not only for Saudi Arabia, for the region, but for all of the world. We need to join forces together to understand how this works. And that's why I'm so glad also that we have with you there today a group of very engaged member states with the implementation of the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence. It has been mentioned, is not only about the only global standard that gathers 194 member states around the world in this commitment to advance artificial intelligence ethically, but we are also doing it with a readiness assessment methodology, knowing we're going to be launching with the center the readiness assessment methodology for Saudi Arabia. But in the public, we are very grateful to have our dear champions of ethics of AI, the Minister of South Africa, Minister Simanda, the Minister of Gabon, Minister Ndong, but also our colleagues from Senegal, from Germany, Serbia, Cambodia, Bahrain, Oman, Malawi, countries that are really there to learn, but also to share their experiences because they also have very, very interesting programs that they are advancing. I'm not going to be talking about all of the potential positive impact of AI, you know it. The way we can really upscale the capacities of our systems in all the fields of work. I mean, from education to health, to agriculture, to innovation, to productivity, the promises are just immense because it's just adding up to our own capacities, those of these amazing, amazing technologies. But we know also about the challenges, and the challenges are not static. The challenges changed. You remember 1 decade ago, we were talking already about displacement in the labor market. We were worried about the low income earners, those workers at the bottom of the income distribution. With generative AI, now we're very worried about middle to high level managerial skills that might be replaced. Therefore, the whole knowledge needs also to be updated. And we need to understand better what kind of policies, what kind of investments, what kind of interventions we can do, incentives, to ensure that the transition to adopt these technologies and make it work for us is also accompanied by support to those people and places that will need to change to take advantage of the technologies, but also to advance much better deployment and skills for the matters. That's one question. The other question is we were discussing about data for long. We were really saying, how do we ensure that data is representative? How do we ensure that data is of quality, that women are not underrepresented, that algorithms and data are not biased because they were not considering the language that is so important now that we are also in this region. And now we are talking about synthetic data. We know that because generative AI has its proper functions to learn from their own feedback, they can produce their own data. And now we're looking at the dangers also of synthetic data, of deepfakes, of impersonation that can target particularly women with content that is uploaded without consent. But that can also threaten our democracy. So as you see, we are learning, and then again, it seems that the technologies are advancing fastest. And this is why having a center like the International Center for Research and Ethics in Saudi Arabia for helping us build the knowledge is so important, because we need to be updating it. And it's not a standalone issue. This is part of the whole of the infrastructure that UNESCO has advanced with our member states to implement the recommendation on the ethics of AI. As I mentioned, the recommendation was signed by member states in 2021, aligning the development of these technologies with human rights, with human dignity, with environmental sustainability, with the rule of law, with gender equality, but also ensuring that the development in the whole AI life cycle is transparent, is accountable, is explainable. Many times we hear that the developers cannot explain it, but at the end, we're not going to be chasing the technology. What we are going to be doing is ensuring that there is somebody that is responsible, and that we can also get redressal mechanisms. So this instrument that we are now deploying, and I have to say, Amal say it too, that generative AI was almost a blessing in disguise. And it's true, because you have seen the impressive movement. The GAIN Summit had been there for quite some time, but now we have many other countries that are advancing better understanding of the safety of the technologies. The UK, France will have the summit next year. The G20, the G7, with whom we collaborate closely, with Brazil. We're going to be working with South Africa, with Italy, and Canada, because all of us, we need to get together and not reinvent the wheel, but try to learn from each other and from those that are more advanced. The center is going to be connected also to our observatory on the ethical governance of AI, where we have a network of institutions. My dear invitation to all of you, institutions that want to connect, that want to learn. This observatory is gathering all of the readiness assessment that we are doing with 60 countries all around the world. The knowledge that we got, for example, supporting the African continent in developing the AI strategy with the African Union. We are going to have our global forum on the ethics of AI in Thailand, after having had a magnificent edition in Slovenia and also in the Czech Republic. We're going to be in Montevideo next week for the Latin American. So it's really a movement, and therefore a pillar that is being built today and that is launched today. I think is so important that we join forces and that we try to advance this understanding together. I will say that we are also looking into how do we make this not only the issue of those that can produce the technologies, because as we know, technologies are also highly concentrated. The business model is that 2 countries in the world produce 80% of the developments. It's very important that we preserve the linguistic diversity, that we present the cultural traits, because AI is also reproducing identities that are there in the digital world. And therefore, we are really working with also source languages represented, developing data centers for developing countries, computing capacities. And also in October, we're going to have the Women for Ethical AI. So it's really part of a very large, you know that in New York, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have the Summit of the Future with the Global Digital Compact, and I'm glad to share with you that UNESCO and ITU have been signaled as two of the institutions that, because of our expertise and because we work together coordinating the work of 45 institutions in the UN, have been asked to support the implementation of the Global Digital Compact, and this makes us very happy. So nothing else to add here, but to thank again the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're very excited about the ICAIRE. I have Irakli Kodeli and Li Hui with you, the heads of our work and the ethics of AI. If you need more information, just contact them. They are there enjoying the amazing summit. Thanks again to our dear Dr. Al-Mandi, the Director General of Sadaya, to Dr. Al-Budarrahman Habib, and therefore looking forward to the results of the readiness assessment of Saudi Arabia, but also to join forces. We need to join forces and understand.
Thank you so much, Assistant Director General for Social and Human Services, Gabriela Ramos. Fantastic to hear from you. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.